This Panthers Corner is brought to you by Blow the Whistle Sports. Yes, after a long season, it's come to an end. I wish I could say that we fought a good fight, and we did. I can say that.
You can.
Not just that we fought a good fight, we fought a great fight. And this makes me feel good for the season to come. I want to introduce you guys to Patrick Knight. See,
Nagle.
Nagle. There we go. See, Patrick Nagle.
There we go.
I've been pronouncing his name wrong, and I want to apologize to him on the air so everybody knows. Now I got it right.
You got it right.
And we had a good season, sir. We had a good season. How did you feel about that game?
I thought my main thought was going into the game, I really wanted us to play a good game. I wanted us, everyone was predicting us to get blown out,
Yes.
10.5 point underdog at home in the playoffs. So I wanted us to go out and play a good game. We played a good game. And I also wanted Bryce to play well, and for his confidence and for the confidence of our fan base that he would step up and deliver in the big moment. And he did. He played an outstanding game. I would argue if you take out the last drive, he outperformed Matt Stafford. He was under duress and the pocket was collapsing on seemingly every play, and yet he still stood in there and made throw after throw after throw. We saw a couple of new wrinkles in the game plan with the RPO to Tet when he pulled it out and dumped it over the thing. So I was really happy with our fight. You and I are talking offline, but at 14-0 down, we could have caved in. We could have thrown in the towel.
I expected us to.
And we didn't, and we kept fighting, and that just goes to the grit and resilience of our team. So I walked away obviously disappointed. I wanted to keep playing, but there was a lot to really be happy about, not just on the field, but the energy in the stadium. Cam coming back, Cam filmed an episode of his podcast in pregame, him coming out and doing the drum. It just felt like everything was kind of right, and maybe the energy is back in the stadium and in the Carolinas for the team and the support of the team, and maybe we can get Cam's name where it belongs in the Ring of Honor and retire his number like it should. All those things need to happen, but I think it was, for me, it was kind of cathartic, right, to watch the stadium rocking and to watch our team be such huge underdogs to come out and play, take the lead, with the 2.5 minutes left, put us in a position to win. It didn't happen, but we could have thrown in the towel and we didn't. And there was time after time after time when we could have. I mean, when Etienne fumbles right there on the punt, I mean, that could have sunk us. There were so many times when maybe last year, maybe even halfway through this year, we would have just been like, it's over. And we just never gave up and kept pounding, right? Like our nickname. So I've rambled on for a few minutes, but I felt there was a lot there in that game for me that was all positive, except for the outcome, to be honest.
I'm pretty much on the same level that you are on. I just I take it hard. I'm diehard Carolina, and I'm just wired. I'm wired this way where when we win, I have a good week. When we lose, my week is not. I still get up. I still do what I need to do, but it's just not the same on a losing week from a winning week. I'm built like that. I love this team, and I see our potential and our ability.
Fan is short for fanatic, right? And if you're a real fan, you get fanatical and you put so much into it, and you want your team to succeed so badly that it is going to be hurtful when it doesn't happen. But for me, I really tried, and I was successful because you and I talked after the game. I I felt good because I saw the future. Like, I saw the fi
Yes.
saw the I mean, even with JC out of the game at the end there because of the concussion and all that, we still yes, we didn't get it, but even the touchdown, was just an unbelievable throw from Stafford and Trayvon was right in position to make the play,
Yeah.
but Cody Parkinson 6'7", and Stafford threw it over, I mean, in a perfect ball, but so we were right there, and so I guess for me, knowing we were playing with the house's money, knowing that we had such little expectation, and
Yeah.
also as you and I have talked multiple times, that we were really just a year ahead of what we thought we should be. Um, I walked away pretty happy, and listening to Dave's postseason, I mean, right after the game, his locker room speech to the team, it was really heartfelt, and I felt that listening to Dan today in his press conference talking about what he thinks the future of the team is and thanking the fans and bringing the passion back to the Carolinas. I really I feel it. I really do. And I'm so as much as I hurt that we're not playing on, um, I also feel great that we're on the right track. And for the first time in a long time, we can say that we're not worried about who our coach is going to be. Are we going to fire our coach? We're not worried about who our GM is or who's playing quarterback or any of these things that we've been worrying about for the last decade.
Yes.
Um, they're not there now. And it's a relief because now you look at it and go, you know what? I think we're an 11 to 12 win team next year.
Yes, and it finally looks like our team wants to win,
Yes. And
wants to win. Now, I understand in that game, it was a lot of shooting ourselves in the foot.
it
We
was.
we had the game by by the cojones. We had them. We had them.
We did.
Um, and we let it slip away by shooting ourselves in the foot. But what you can take away with that is this being a young team making young mistakes that next year, because every year, the first year was horrific.
Yep.
Second year wasn't that great, but we saw improvement.
Mhm.
Third year, look where we made it.
Well,
My
and
goodness.
And Dave's improved by 3 wins every year, right? So,
Exactly.
if we improve by 3 wins this year, which I believe is completely doable, we're an 11-win team. Um, um, I just want a couple stats. I love to throw out some stats here.
There you go, shoot
Um,
it.
Panthers scored more points than the Eagles, Steelers, and Chargers combined.
Mhm.
You can throw the Texans in there if you take out the Texans' 2 defensive touchdowns.
There you have it.
Um, Also, we played the Rams twice. The Rams only gave up 29 or more points 4 times this entire season.
Wow.
Twice was us. We scored 31 against them twice. So, I don't for everyone, and I say this for all the Bryce haters,
And there's a lot of them
there are,
within.
um, you need to stop and you need to start looking at reality versus what you somehow believe in your mind. I saw Monday night last night. I saw people. Oh, we should have CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud turned the ball over 4 times in that game,
My
and
goodness, horribly.
and and I don't think that he looked particularly well at all. And so
The only thing keeping him alive was his defense,
again,
because if left up to CJ Stroud, they would have lost horribly.
the defense scored more points than the offense in that game. So, I
Bingo.
mean, let's just keep it, let's just keep everything in reality. So, Dan already said we're picking up the 5th-year option. No
Yeah.
surprise. Um, uh, so I think that people's expectations of Bryce were unrealistic. They expected him to be Cam. He's not.
Right.
He's a very different human being than Cam. Um, but I also think that I saw a lot of really good accuracy from Bryce.
Right.
Even his interception was a pass that was right on the money had Jalen Coker not stopped. So they just didn't communicate well there. But the ball was where it needed to be if Jalen Coker continued running. Um, and he put the ball on 4th down on Jimmy Horn, and Jimmy Horn unfortunately dropped it.
And I
And I'm
love
not.
he's young and
He is.
he gave encouragement to the young man for
Yeah,
making a mistake. He made mistakes his first year. But
sure.
what I want to point out about what you said, when Cam Newton came to the Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton inherited Steve Smith, old Smitty.
He did.
That was still his wide receiver.
Well,
When when Bryce Young got here, who did he have? DJ Chalk?
he had DJ Chark and Cam had something else too. I think people forget. Cam had Greg Olson and Jeremy Shockey.
I didn't even get to that. But what
Yeah,
the whole thing when Bryce got here,
you had nothing.
they got rid of Christian McCaffrey, and I'm still a little sore about that. We gave up Christian McCaffrey for 2 French fries and a stick of bubble gum. We what was it? Two second round picks in a fourth
Yeah, 2 seconds and fourth. Yeah.
for Christian McCaffrey. Did you
Mhm.
guys see what Christian McCaffrey's still doing? What do you think Bryce Young could have did with a Christian McCaffrey?
No, it would be we'd be light years ahead. I mean, but
But all that being said,
yeah,
he inherited the team with misfits from other teams. And
yes,
those people didn't even know a playbook when they got here.
but let's
Everybody had to learn that together.
but let's put some credit. You and I have talked a little bit about it. Let's
Yes,
put some credit on Dan Morgan. He undrafted free agent in Jalen Coker drafts Tet. T Mac when there was some weirdness and when him coming out in the draft and some
right.
things said that didn't make a lot of sense. But anyways, in the rearview mirror, he's the perfect fit for us. Even Jimmy Horn Jr., who I still think has some
Great potential.
potential.
Great
And
potential.
and again, we're talking about a third-year quarterback and 3 wide receivers that are essentially 2 are rookies, and Jalen Coker, because of time missed, is essentially a rookie. So I I think that, then when you add in the bigger picture of Tommy Tremble, 4th-year player, Evans,
Sanders starts
rookie,
over him, but he broke his ankle. You got to
Sanders,
remember that he wasn't
yeah,
there.
2nd-year player. So all of our skill position players are rookies essentially, or very. I just think the sky's the limit, and I think they take a big step forward next year. I'm not worried about our offense. I mean, I'd love to see, I'd love to see us improve the offensive line depth. I mean,
I'm thankful you said that. That's my main thing right there. I
and
don't think
Iggy,
people really see how Bryce is under siege
yeah,
every damn near every play.
and Icky's going to be out for a while. 6 to 9 months at
Oh
best.
my
So
goodness.
that sucks. But so we're going to have to address the tackle position. Although Ninjin, I mean, that guy's come in a couple times, and the best mark of a backup lineman is when they come in the game is when you don't ever call their name. So I
Right.
mean, so we need to improve our line. One of the things that I also want to give credit to and props while we're really propping the team up is I think Dave Canales does a really good job of self scouting the team,
Right.
and I think that having now this be a second year and knowing what worked, really understanding what didn't, and how to put it all together. I'm really I'm bullish that we're going to be able to really kind of get our offense together.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, when we've been clicking, I mean, again, 31 points twice against the Rams. That's
True.
that's
True.
nothing to
True.
sneeze at. Um, uh, I really I'm interested to see. I mean, they made the decision to bring back Evero before the season started, which I thought was interesting.
They had
Um,
to say that because it was festering. A
it
lot of
was,
people were asking for his head after the game, and I didn't understand that when um, I see the mistakes, and we saw it in the Seattle game.
yep.
But when you have lemons and you're trying to make lemonade, sometimes it's going to be a little sour if you don't put enough sugar in it.
No, I
I
agree,
mean,
and so to be fair to Evero, let's get him more
talent.
toys in the toy box to play with.
There you have it.
We really need to improve our linebackers. I think we have something in Scorton. And I Princely flashed to me. So we got some rotational pieces there. I think we just need to improve our linebacker situation, and obviously we need to look at safety and Nick Scott. I don't think he's the right guy for the job. I don't think we bring him back. But
Now I have
uh,
a question for you,
yes,
because I wanna get a little more on that, but
sure,
my question is, do you think we should retain Rico?
no.
Because it doesn't look like it looked like the relationship broke up or something happened in the locker room. I feel like our running game that is excellent, we really didn't utilize it in the game.
I, I, you know, Rico was hot there for a month.
Right.
Um, but he never, in my opinion, found it again. Now that could be our line play,
Mhm.
that he could have been banged up. I don't know, but to me personally, I'm not a big fan of I want to go somewhere where I'm the man. When you're on
Right.
a building team, and that's his right to do so, and I'm not taking a shit on him for that, but on our team and what the unselfishness of the team, that to me, that doesn't fit. And I don't want a malcontent in my locker room. And I never heard anything that he was, but if he wants to be the man, more power to you. Go be the man. I don't think he's that level. And I think Chuba's an all around better back
Okay.
personally. They're very different styles, but we also have to remember we have Jonathan Brooks, and and I'm he was really something coming
Yeah,
out of
he's gonna be
college.
something special. We just
So,
haven't seen it yet because every time he touches the field, that same injury comes back to haunt us.
but I'm good with not bringing him back. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if we did. I just the price to me would have to be right. It wouldn't. I mean,
Now my thing is, do you think that it would be better to, to keep him and trade him
I
or
don't
just let him go?
I don't think there's much value for him, to be honest. I
Wow.
mean, um, I think he didn't have a lot of offers coming out of Dallas, even though he was 1,000-yard rusher. I'm not sure.
This
I'm
is strange to me.
I don't see. The thing is he's not consistent. In my opinion, if you take out the 3 weeks where he ran crazy,
Right.
he, he,
Back to
he
back, but that's when he was getting the fed the ball
right, because Chuba
on
was
the
completely
yeah,
injured.
right.
Um, I don't know. I mean, like, I just don't know if he has a lot of trade value. I don't know. The NFL is weird about running backs, right? And
Yeah.
very few running backs get second contracts. I don't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Bill Belichick had one of the greatest quotes of all time, and I'm going to quote it here. I think it's better to get rid of a guy 1 year too early than 1 year too late.
Wow.
And I'm just, again, I wouldn't be mad if we brought him back, but I wouldn't I wouldn't break the bank for him.
Okay,
Um,
my next question to you is,
yeah,
do we get an offensive coordinator, or are you okay with, our coach still calling the plays?
I have mixed feelings about that.
Mm,
And I'll just answer the question like this. Obviously, we don't actually know a lot of what happens in behind the scenes,
right.
but um, I feel like Dave would benefit from maybe letting Brad Chiswick call the plays, and him still having
Input.
input or say. But I think it's hard for him to be the overall coach when he's has to be so focused. And I think that kind of came up a couple of times where we didn't maybe challenge a play or he didn't get an explanation. Like, for instance, when the fumble that wasn't a fumble, that was a lateral pass, and they blew the whistle, and we should have got
They
another
said the
down.
ball was out of bounds
Yeah,
and it was
if
dead when he
if
coulda
he
still
wasn't
ran with the ball.
yeah, he admitted that he immediately went back to call the next play because the play clock was running. Maybe if he didn't have that responsibility, he could have been talking to the ref, and we could have got a
Being the
replay
coach.
there.
Yes.
And so I, I'm hopeful that that Dave has an open mind. He has proven to me so far to be open to self criticism of, like, hey,
I
I'm
like
not doing it
everything
right.
about him.
And so that when they sit down and talk about these things this in the off season, that maybe they have a talk about that, and um whether they bring in someone different, or whether Brad is a capable play caller, or they can combine to do it. Although we had issues at times throughout the year, I will say this: I really 2 years ago, and even some last season, this is the 24 season.
Right.
Um, we had a lot of delay game penalties called against us. We had to waste a lot of timeouts because
Yeah.
we weren't ready. And we didn't have that much of that this year. We were much more
Prepared.
prepared,
Yeah.
much more aligned. Um,
Much more a team.
yes.
Everybody feeling each other. We we
So,
we we have some it's
so,
well put together once again.
so for me, I don't think that's crucial, but I think if I think that they should talk about whatever they think makes a team better, and if
Okay.
maybe I would be curious to see if maybe we don't let Brad call some of the preseason games and see how that goes, and see if they can find an alignment. But yeah, I don't. My heart isn't set on either one of those things. My heart is set on continuing to improve the team, get better personnel, get better depth on the offensive line.
Yes.
I'd
That's a
like to see us look at, I'd like to see us look at a tight end in the draft if we can get a playmaker. I mean, I would love to get the kid out of Oregon, Sadiq, but I don't. I think he's
what
going to be gone.
position?
His name is Kenyon Sadiq. He's unbelievable, but I think he's going to be gone by the time we draft
Well, what position?
tight end.
Oh.
He's an athletic freak.
So
I
you
mean,
don't think we should wait for Sanders for his ankle?
I think Sanders and him together would be a problem.
Ooh, okay.
I
Mm,
think you would
so
have a situation there where, especially if you had Tommy with those three, you could run a lot of three tight end personnel, and you could still have receiving, and you could get mismatches. I just think it'd be a different formation for us, especially if we want to continue to pound the rock. Um, but I don't think we get that guy because I. But so I'm, but I'm. Listen, I think we have to tip the cap to Dan and his draft this season, right? I mean, look at this draft from this year. I mean, every single player not just made the team but contributed heavily to this team, and we signed a guy out of nowhere.
Yes.
His name is Isaiah Simmons. That was a number one pick from Clemson, for the Cardinals, and he's never really found his quote unquote position, but he's the guy who blocked the punt.
Yeah.
We signed him a couple weeks ago. He can play kind of a Jeremy Chin type of linebacker position. I like him a lot. I hope we bring him back and we find a role for him, because I think he brings that energy and the type of player we need, a versatile player. So, I really trust in our team to make the right picks, because they haven't done anything but do that.
I'm really excited by it being a Carolina Panther that came back to help us.
Yeah.
I really like that. My next question to you is: do you think we should stay in the 3-4 defense or move to the 4-3?
I don't like the 3-4 as a general rule.
Right.
I like the 4-3. Uh, I prefer it. However, um, I th- at times this season, at times we look dominant,
Yes,
except we had one Achilles heel, and that was we weren't getting pressure on the quarterback. So we
that's something
need
we have to address. Yes,
we need to address that. And I think if we do, I don't think it matters whether we switch to the 4-3 or the 3-4. I think if we can get the right personnel, or the right scheme, and a combination of the two, I think we're in good standing. I mean, I've been the first to bash Evero and our defensive scheme multiple times, but I have
me
to give credit where credit's due. We went from a historically worst defense in the NFL to, I think I think we finished like 15 or 14. I mean, so
14,
yeah,
14.
we finished uh, in the top half
For being last, at least getting to the middle, that's an
it's a
accomplishment.
dramatic accomplishment, and to be in the top half, I mean, that
Yeah,
that says a lot about maybe it just, you said it earlier, maybe we just didn't have the right people, and maybe it's just taking longer to get the right people. But I think we've done another thing with our success this season, and the way the fans turned out on Saturday. I think we've made Carolina a free agent destination now.
where
Whereas
people will want to come
yes,
here now.
whereas in the past, we had to kinda overpay maybe. Maybe
Yeah.
we weren't someone's
We had
first
to beg,
choice.
basically. "Could you please,
Yeah.
please, I understand what you heard, but you could please, please, please come to Carolina?"
So I
No.
think between all that, what people saw of a team, I think, I also feel like they're building a team very similar to my near and dear Golden State Warriors, which they're bringing a team of really really good people too. I mean, they have a locker room full of good human beings, and I think that matters when you're recruiting other good human beings to come be a part of something. And
Yes.
I think there's something in the air there, and I think that I think we also have to give a huge uh, debt of gratitude and a shout out to Mr. Tepper. I mean, he got out of the way and let the football people run the football.
He understood, he's a businessman. He
And
understood the assignment.
well,
He did
he
what he
did
was supposed to
he
do.
didn't originally,
Well,
and and now that he has,
he was an owner,
yes,
and what great feel would it be for you to first get a team and you put the right people in place? It was his money. He
yeah,
tried with his money to do what he thought was best. He saw it didn't work, and like a grown man with a business, he took a step back and hired the right people and let them
yeah.
work for you.
And I'm really grateful for him because I think it's changed the direction and the trajectory of our franchise. I really believe that, and I think that you look at all the things that are happening there, and I think that he taking a different approach after his first couple of years there, I think is the right thing to do. And um, I think we're on the right trajectory, man. And I feel
We
like
right there. We're
we're,
right
we're,
there.
we are a, a good draft and a couple of decent signings, and we're legitimately in the conversation for Super Bowl. I mean, I really believe that. You got to just got to earn it. You got to prove it. But
It's
I,
lining up. It's lining up perfect.
it
And I want
is
to thank you for this time you coming out to talk to us again. I appreciate you and your time and your
always.
insight. You got you right on point. And I like it because um at times you say what I want to say even better than I would say it. And I enjoy talking to you. I like the time that you take. And I just want to say we appreciate it here at Panthers Corner. And I want to invite you back because we got a whole draft to talk about. We got
Dude,
prospects
free
to talk
agents.
about. And to all our people out there, all the Cali Cat Pack, the Roaring Riot, the Angel City Riot, Panther Nation, we have nothing to feel bad about. We'll be back and we will rise from the ashes and we will ride again. Thank you for being there. Please like, subscribe, and share. We have our page up, Panthers Corner. We will start to go live from Panthers Corner, so you can call in, and it could be interactive where we can hear what you guys have to say, and it doesn't have to align what we say. We're all Panther faithful and through, and your opinion matters, and we want to hear it. Patrick, please, 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 let's let's get back together and let's talk about this. But like we like to say here, and we'll see y'all next time. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding, baby. Thanks, Wayne. I really appreciate you having me on. And I just want to end with one thing. I know you said your keep pounding thing, but Luke Kuechly Hall of Fame. He deserves to be in. So I want to say it out
There's no
loud.
way they can hold him out.
Let's get him in. They already held him out last year. He deserves to be in. He's arguably one of the best linebackers to ever play the position. So he needs to be in. And when he gets in, he'll be our first
Yeah.
start to finish Hall of Famer. And
Yes.
that'll
Go
pay
ahead. Immortalize our Luke Kuechly.
yeah, and that'll pave the way for our very own Cam Newton and Steve Smith. But Luke deserves to be in there, and I know we don't have much pull, but I just want to put that out into the atmosphere because I think that he deserves it more than anyone, and he epitomizes what it is to be a Panther. To just show up do the job, but yet still be a good person off the field and be a great human being. And I
Yes.
really respect
Once
that
you
about
put
him.
the energy out there, the higher ups is they know already.
I know, but
Everybody
I just
knows
want to
the
say it.
time that Luke put out there. They know he deserves to be in there.
Uh,
They like to they play favorites
I
when it
know,
comes
but I just
to
want to say it. I just want to make sure
hey, and I appreciate it. Always say it. Always speak up, especially for them Carolina Panthers.
I mean, I don't want to be too crazy here, but I have to say, that Luke is my favorite guy.
Hey, hey, there it is. Let's see the back. Bam! Luke!
There we go.
Luke.
Wayne, have a great night. I appreciate you having me on. And
Yes,
anytime
sir.
you need me, don't
Oh
hesitate to
man.
ask.
Most definite, most definite. Panther Nation. Like, subscribe, and share. We out.